But she also pointed out they will not be releasing any information about the condition of Faye's body, once again, out of a measure of respect for her family.
Correct, Judy. And the other note that Margaret Fisher made is while she revealed the cause of death, she said exactly what you said, that the condition of her body and any other details relevant to the autopsy will be kept private, out of the privacy for Faye's family. So what was revealed today is that the cause of death, according to that autopsy, is asphyxiation, in layman's terms, choking, strangulation. But yes, that was the extent of what we were told about Faye's death. And you heard she was emotional too. You saw both Byron Snellgrove and Margaret Fisher incredibly emotional when you think about just a 6-year-old child. She was so thankful about the motorcade, all of the respects paid to Faye when her body was returned back to the Midlands on Saturday from Charleston. But just it was very emotional in this room. It has been a long, trying 7 or 8 days for all of these law enforcement officers, the entire law enforcement community. And like I said, this was information that we were all dreading, but it certainly pieces together some of the holes that we had in this investigation timeline.
Take a look at the details of this investigation. They gave us some context about the number of leads they have followed up, the amount of video that they have reviewed. We still did not get an idea. You know, so many people wondered, did Faye perhaps wander off, or did he approach her in some way? We don't know that, but we do know that according to the video evidence they've reviewed, they spotted some suspicious behavior.
They did. I think over 280 leads and 756 gigabytes of video, and some of that including surveillance video. And you're right, he did say, Byron Snellgrove did say that they identified Cody Taylor on some of that video that they reviewed, quote, doing some suspicious looking things, but did not elaborate as to what exactly it is that he was seen doing on that surveillance video.
Have been, Caroline, while we have you, you've been asking these questions since day one. You've been trying to learn some more details, specifically about the timeline. I think some of the biggest questions we have had over the course of the past week, because they are protecting the integrity of the investigation, you know, are some of these little holes that are starting to get patched up. What are some of those things for our viewers who may be just joining us that we still don't know? What are some questions that you still have that remain unanswered?
Well, the first thing is what we just talked about. What is it that investigators saw Cody Taylor doing on that surveillance video that they deemed suspicious? It was asked, why was that soup ladle that was found in the trash can that had, they said, some fresh dirt on it? Was that a hunch? That's essentially what Byron Snellgrove said. It was a hunch. But what did that have to do with the entirety of the case? You heard me ask if Cody Taylor had a roommate. They confirmed he did, in fact, have a roommate, but they were adamant that he has no involvement in this whatsoever. He was not around this week. One of the other things that's interesting, he touched on it a little bit, but I'd like to know more about is what was the demeanor of Cody Taylor? We heard that he let officers into his apartment on Wednesday. He was cooperative, they said. He granted that search when he didn't have to. More into exactly what that interaction was like, because essentially what Byron Snellgrove said is at that point they had no evidence and no indication that he was involved at all. It was something they were doing, going door to door. It's 280 plus homes, sometimes 3 or 4 efforts to get people as they work and have lives. But at that point, when they talked to Cody Taylor, as far as they have told us, there was no indication at that point that he was involved at all. So maybe a little bit more into what that initial interaction was like, and what the search of his apartment entailed.
We'll be checking back in with Caroline throughout the afternoon as we continue our live extended coverage. A lot of news, though, to process out of this news conference.
Of course, and WIS's Emily Wickman, she's standing by as well to give us more information. Emily, what can you tell us right there from the scene? I know you're standing right outside of the neighborhood where there is a memorial that is still there.
That's right, Dominus. The memorial has just been growing over the days. Now there's hundreds of balloons and stuffed animals right at the entrance of Churchill Heights. I'm actually a few hundred feet away from that entrance right now, right near the wooded area where little Faye's body was found. Now, Margaret Fisher did give some more information, saying that she doesn't believe that Faye was killed in the location that she was found, and that it happened just hours, she believes, after she went missing. Now, I want to give you a closer look at this wooded area. It's only a few hundred feet from where